So for those of you who don't follow tech news, apparently Apple is suing the phone manufacturer HTC, which carries a lot of Android phones. Um, the suit names 20 patent infringements, almost all of which are software related. So it's interesting that they're going after the hardware manufacturer of these phones when it's obviously the real target is Google, um, who makes the Android operating system. Um, and I mean, first of all, I don't think that Apple's going to win that suit. First of all, because many of the patents are themselves based on other patents by other manufacturers. Apple was previously sued by Nokia for violating many of their patents. I wouldn't be surprised if many of those patents aren't the same ones that uh, aren't the same ones they got sued over. Um, but I think this case highlights something that uh, that kind of we I feel like we need to talk about more is that um, the idea of intellectual property is supposed to promote innovation by giving the innovator incentive to invent by letting them patent his inventions and sell them to people who want to use that idea. Um, in practice, we've could develop a system where patents and copyrights end up stifling innovation. I mean, here, if Apple were to succeed in this lawsuit, they could very well take down most other smartphone manufacturers. I mean, to think that that Microsoft was considered to be anti-competitive for bundling Windows with Internet Explorer. Yeah, I mean that's nothing compared to Apple trying to dominate the smartphone industry by force and make it so that in order to have any kind of smartphone or it's all you have to have an iPhone. You know, I mean, obviously, I mean, the whole multi-touch feature is one of the big things that everyone that was being held back for a while. But actually, one of the patent complaints is about multitasking, and the iPhone doesn't even support multitasking. So they got a patent on something that their phone doesn't do. But they just don't want anyone else to do it either. I mean, that is stifling innovation if ever it had seen anything like that. So, and I guess the intellectual property is an issue that um, it worries me a bit and gives me pause because uh, I'm attracted to a lot of uh, novel ideas like Henry George's ideas about land value taxation, or Frederick Saudi's ideas about debt-free money. Really simple solutions that can change a lot. They can bring about revolutionary change in terms of our economy and our society. Um, with intellectual property, I don't get the sense that there's an easy solution to like there's really a simple solution to it. I mean, I sympathize with those who would like to abolish it altogether, but I'm not so sure that would be such a good idea. I mean, I think there has to be some way of compensating innovation, and so um, it, yeah, and so I'm not so sure that we should get rid of intellectual property altogether. But clearly, it's gotten out of hand, and there's what's called the Mickey Mouse rule, which is Disney has for 60 some odd years kept allowing Congress to extend copyrights laws, so that it's the death of the creator plus 50 years plus it so that Disney still owns the copyright to Mickey Mouse all these years after Walt Disney died, you know. Uh, and clearly they don't need that in order to encourage innovation. Just like the iPhone has already made millions of dollars and its innovation is not being hurt by these competitors. If anything, it should help. It should encourage them to be more innovative. But obviously, if they're making these big lawsuits over all this technology to effectively cripple the rest of the smartphone market, then yeah, it's a pretty tragic state of affairs. So, um, I mean, it's not just this is just a slam on Apple. Although personally, at this point, I don't plan on buying any more of the products. Um, but I definitely yeah, I think that we really need to reflect on reality. Um, incidentally, I have read an interesting article by Dean Baker, who provides some interesting alternatives to intellectual property. Not things to abolish intellectual property and replace them with it, but sort of to compete with intellectual property. Um, one of them is for is basically for drug patents, where instead of where instead of just having patents for drugs, that they have like competing government offices that finance medical research, and then the drugs that are produced from that research are can't be patented, and so I think that's a good thing. So there are definitely areas of our economy where we can find alternatives to intellectual property, and we should wherever we can. So, I mean, if we end up ultimately dismantling the system of intellectual property by replacing it with something better, I would be all in favor of that. But I do think we have to tread carefully. But wherever we tread, it needs to be somewhere far away from the direction we're currently going in. So that's my thoughts for now.